The other big thing that's come out this week, I suppose, is the news that Captain America 4, A Brave New World, is going in for like its 27th round of reshoots. They just cannot get this movie locked in.
I think I saw a tweet that was like, it was a comment on it as though this ever works. It was like an alternate universe tweet. The idea was they were like, thank goodness we live in a world where they can change films indefinitely up to release to make them perfect. Like, yeah, because that never happens. Like, when do they ever say like, "Oh, we reshot this 1 billion times and that's how it became the best thing ever"?
Because you just definitely want the original. I want to see how bad it was.
I want to be one of those test audiences just to the nightmare that is.
I don't know what else they want to fix right now. I mean, is it? I guess it's based off maybe trailer reactions or something like that. I mean, it's so late.
It's test audiences. That's all it is. Like, I suppose they have to wait until the VFX and stuff are finished and ready to go, and then they'll do another batch of test audiences. And if that feedback is terrible, then they're like, shit, we have to try and fix this again. But it honestly feels like trying to polish a turd at this point. Like, if the basic idea of the film is wrong, you're not going to make it, you're not going to fix it by reshooting it. You just have to, like, start again.
I wonder if it's like a matter of, let's just say with the first test audience, a bunch of them say, what the fuck was that? And then like, what do you think's wrong with it? And they go, well, you clearly needed A, and then name some generic random event that could happen, and they put it in. And then the next audience say the exact same thing, but they ask for a different random event. And then the third audience see it, and that first random event that got put in, they're like, I don't like that one. Take that back out. And then just like...
I mean, yeah, because you're always going to be dependent on how retarded your test audience is, but... I would assume they do a whole bunch of these, and then they'll just average out the feedback. Like, so if there's a consistent theme, like, okay.
Well, dude, at this point, just get the fucking test group to make the film.
They said it's Disney employees. That's who's the test audience is.
I like how you said it. I like how you said how retarded the audience is.
They're picking. If they're really woke, they're going to say, well, the movie's not woke enough. But if they're normal like us, they're going to be like, well, this is missing, or this isn't right, or it's too much of this. So
when I was making my video about this, like, I was trying to research the production history of this movie and all the various ideas that they've like claimed that this story was going to be about, and it was everything from like the Celestial, from the Eternals, to like like more like monsters from outer space, to like a grounded and realistic gritty thriller like Winter Soldier. It's like been everything in its time, and none of it seems to be working, and I don't know where they're going to go with it. It just feels like a movie that they made because they had to fill a release schedule. It's like, well, we need another Captain America movie, we've got to launch Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, we just need a movie about it. Do we have a story? We'll figure that out later. And that seems to be why they've ended up where they are. Like, and nothing that they're doing is working. And yeah, like this idea that you can keep editing and editing and reshooting, you're just going to end up with a Frankenstein's monster of a film. It'll be like 5 different versions all sandwiched together into one. And yeah, that's never going to work.
It's just so insane to me because like most humans want to be lazy. Like they want to do as little work as possible for the money they get. That's generally people at work. So the easiest thing you could do to make a movie is just take a comic book and just make that. It's like, you need a script? Okay, I'm just turning this into this. It always amazes me how much work they make to not make the source material. It takes them so much more effort to get it wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose there's elements that you take from it to try and craft it into a movie, but maybe a full comic book is going to have too much out there, like crazy stuff that audiences just won't be able to grapple with. But yeah, man, it just feels like there's got to be so much stuff out there that's pure gold after like 50 years of comic books. Why try and make a brand new story, or why try and like amalgamate a whole bunch of different things together into something else? It's just, the thing that's surprising about it is they obviously did used to be good at this stuff. They knew how to make good movies. They did it for at least 10 years with the MCU. Like, what's changed? Why do they not know how to do it now? Why have they lost all their confidence?
They're still trying to straddle the line, I think, of doing what they've been trying to push and actually make money. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They can't find that sweet spot of being able to do that. That's just a theory I got.
I also think that, you know what, none of these characters are like real humans at all. We just don't see them like go through everyday trials and tribulations that you know, all of us can fall in love with and understand just broadly or particularly based on who they are. I'm just so sick and tired of seeing so many of these new characters in every media just become like little manufactured shells of what a human person is in this modern day. It's so disappointing. So many of the great characters I grew up loving, they were so three-dimensional, and man, none of these Marvel characters are that way anymore.
Well, they're all just derivatives now of the previous iteration of the character. So Sam Wilson now, like, even though he was like a nicely fleshed out character with his own identity before, now he's just a derivative version of Captain America.
Not
It's
only
like we're just-
derivative versions are everywhere, but they've also got this weird obsession with the arc of just believe in yourself, like that. Instead of, you know, overcoming an insecurity or defeating a personal issue in your life or personified by some greater threat, it's going to be you were great and you needed to understand how great you were to be greater. And
Yeah, and how is anyone going to believe that somehow he's able to defeat Red Hulk? That has to be the worst choice they could have possibly chosen to pin up against this new, grounded hero that we're supposed to fall in love with and believe especially without the super soldier serum.
From what I've seen, they're starting to spin up the whole, like, the suit provides him loads of boosted strength now. And it's like, yeah, well, they're going to need something because it doesn't make any fucking sense otherwise. He's going to get smooshed into mist.
Why even bring Red Hulk into it? If you want a grounded, gritty, believable action thriller, like, what's believable about a fucking gigantic red monster that can, like, destroy everything in his path?
Because it would have been a checkbox. They would have been like, how can we get people into the cinema? Okay, what do people like? Well, they like Hulk. Can we get Hulk? No, Hulk wouldn't fight him. Okay, is there any other? Okay, there's a red guy. So it's Red Hulk. He can switch in for that. And they just see everything as interchangeable. And I think one of the reasons you can't have the good characters is because to make a believable human character, they have to act in believable human ways. And that means playing into gender roles. Like so Black Widow would always have to use her looks to get the edge on men just to actually survive. He will always need the super serum to actually go head to head with someone that's better than him. But by saying you need the super serum, you're saying that you're not good enough as you are. And they're like, well, you can't do that. That's offensive. And
which
so now
has the detrimental
no,
effect
he's just perfect.
that they don't give a fuck about of undermining the strength of a Hulk like type, the Hulk, Red Hulk, whatever have you. Because you remember Avengers, right? He goes toe to toe with Thor, and it's like an actual fight because it's a god versus the Hulk. So that makes you feel like the power level is still maintained. In the second one, you have Iron Man, but he's covered in so much bulky armor that gets shredded off piece by piece by piece, restocked. Like, that maintains the sense of the power of the Hulk. But holy shit, the MCU has just destroyed any sense that the Hulk has any power at this point. Like, embarrassment. And Red Hulk, yeah, I mean, it'll be funny. So we got that.
I like the people defending it though, because you had the poster where he's just literally punching him into a wall, and people are like, "Well, the shield absorbs the energy." I'm not.
Displaces it.
Yeah.
And you saw when Falcon or Captain America was flying, and he throws the shield and he hits all of those missiles. It's like, what's going on there? Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Master of maths, physics, and like everything, rocketry. He'd have to know the force and momentum of everything.
And he's just a guy.
Yeah,
he's not super soldier. He's just a guy. It's sad. I mean,
even
like,
with the serum, there's only so much he can take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how they explain it. I want to see.
Isn't it the same guy who worked on Falcon and the Winter Soldier is now doing this?
No.
No surprises there.
Like, writer-wise. Like, and that show was just, you want to talk about preachy, that took it to another level.
You need to do better.
Fucking garbage.
How the hell does Falcon not get some money he needs for all the service he's done for the world?
Yeah.
Gosh. Can't take it anymore.
Yeah, people in chat are agreeing. Yeah, apparently it's the same guy. So that should tell you everything you need to know, really. I was looking up the director for this as well. Like, he is not a prolific or experienced director for this movie. Hold on. I'm trying to remember his name right here. But yeah, he's only done, I think, 4 other films, and they've all been pretty low budget. Let me see. Yeah, so
Time for him to
director
prove himself.
Julius Ona. So he's done 4 other movies before this. They are all... Oh, he did the Cloverfield Paradox, actually.
Ooh,
That's his biggest
movie was
one.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm against all the sequels to that. I really like the first one.
He didn't write it or produce it. He directed it. So, yeah, draw your own conclusions from
for
that.
anybody who may be confused, the Cloverfield Paradox is not Cloverfield. Those are 2 different movies.
Neither of the sequels are. They were just random scripts that they were like, well, how can we sell this? We'll just put Cloverfield on it.
Yeah. And 10 Cloverfield Lane actually was good up until the last 10 minutes of it.
I really liked
nice,
John
like,
Goodman
tight
in it.
little... Yeah, it was a nice, like, tight, claustrophobic thriller. Thought that was decent.
It just annoyed me because it wasn't Cloverfield. So
Yeah, well,
even though
yeah,
I
it
could
wasn't,
appreciate it as a movie, attaching the name made me hate it.
I get that completely, yeah. If you watch Cloverfield and then you get told that's the sequel, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We attach it in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah. And then the Cloverfield Paradox was just nonsense. Absolute insanity.